This presentation was paid for by CGTN. The opinions, views, and claims expressed are those of CGTN and may not necessarily reflect those of CNBC.
Economy, innovation, culture, exploration. Discover the vibrant pulse of China's economy and dive into the rich tapestry of its culture. Embark on a journey of exploration with Meet China. Here, your journey begins.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Meet China. I'm Lily Lu. Today, I'll take you on a journey through 4 unique aspects of China's culture and craftsmanship. We'll start with the incredible wickerworks in Anhui Province, then we delve into the one-of-a-kind Longshan black pottery. After that, we'll take a tea break in a century-old tea house before we unravel the architectural wonder of Baowen Temple, which has stood for 580 years. First, we travel to Funan County in Anhui Province, where wickerwork is a traditional craft steeped in centuries of history. Local artisans can skillfully create exquisite handwoven products made from bamboo or rattan. And these items, ranging from wine carriers to Christmas trees, are exported to more than 120 countries worldwide, significantly boosting local economy while preserving cultural heritage.
Oops, what is that? Oh, a lifelike snake woven out of willow. In Funan County in northern Anhui Province, from artistic crafts to daily necessities, all these practical and beautiful goods are made of wicker. Locals use a special kind of plant to create a myriad of unexpected objects.
Guanyin County is a flood storage area. Every time it flooded, all the crops were destroyed. Only Salix and Tigra can grow. Farmers used this plant to make daily necessities, and this has gradually developed into a whole industry. In 2023, the wickerwork industry in our county reached 1 billion yuan.
What I'm holding now is the Salix integra, a kind of dwarf willow, and look how soft and easy to bend they are. So the width are the perfect raw materials for the handicraft wickerwork magic in Funan. And these widths are still young. They are not fully mature, but they are already as tall as me or even much taller than me. And when fully grown, the Salix integra can reach the heights of more than 2 meters.
After harvesting, the widths are peeled and dried, but before weaving, they are soaked to achieve the unique strength that allows them to be woven by hand. This time, I had the privilege of trying my hand at wickerwork with a local expert on this, and when I did, I realized that wicker weaving is much harder than it looks.
First, I need to put these rods into the gaps. It's so hard every time I put the rods in.
This step is the easiest.
Within the same time the master has almost done the work, I've only done a little.
Push harder, harder.
Wrong?
Wrong. Let me help you.
It's so hard to take this step.
You couldn't make a basket in a morning. Sometimes you see wicker baskets that look small and easy. It's not an easy task.
How does the wickerwork industry contribute to people's lives?
It helps a lot. Locals can make money in their homes. One factory can provide thousands of jobs.
Sun Chuangui also runs a wickerwork factory. Like more than 500 other factories in the county, their products are mainly sold to Europe and the United States.
Look at these beautiful various products here. And actually, the Chinese traditional wickerwork products in Funan are primarily aimed at international consumers. They love wickerwork products. So with these substantial orders here, you can have the glimpse of their diverse tastes and aesthetics.
In Southeast Asian countries like Thailand, they prefer colorful products. These goods are destined for Europe and America. They like the retro, natural things.
Since 1984, Funan's wickerwork products have been introduced to the world through the Canton Fair, and these products have been exported to more than 120 countries overseas currently.
At the 135th Canton Fair, we have received orders of more than $3 million. Look, this is our order list for this month. Our wickerwork, pet products are aimed at the European and American markets. We mainly sell to developed countries like US, Canada, the UK, Germany, France, Spain, Italy.
How many orders have you had since the beginning of the year?
About $5 to $6 million worth.
But in the factories, you rarely see many workers. Local farmers do the wickerwork at home to earn more money in their spare time. Ju Wenfu, one of the farmers' brokers, takes orders from the factory and distributes them to his neighbors.
We have
about 100,000 yuan of orders every month. The total income will be 1 million yuan a year. I want to help our villagers more and increase their incomes. I can also help them with some manufacturing problems.
In the past, Funan area was often affected by frequent floods. But such geographical environment grew plants such as Salix integra, and the industrial's local people were resilient and tough just like this plant. They used their hands to create colorful daily necessities and artistic creations with these little wits, living their happy and better lives.
Now let's delve into the world of the Longshan black eggshell pottery goblets. The word eggshell here refers to the remarkably thin walls measuring just 1/5 of 1 millimeter. Now this craftsmanship is a testament of the artistic and technological advancements of ancient Chinese societies. Its unique historic value, its aesthetic appeal, set Longshan black pottery apart in the realm of ceramic artistry.
What do you think of when you hear the word thin? A butterfly's wing? The edge of a coin? A centimeter? A millimeter? Or 0.2 millimeter? Some 4,000 years ago, along the banks of the Yellow River, the Longshan culture achieved something remarkable, a fusion of superb craftsmanship and a basic material. Only a few products of this union have survived down to the present day. Eggshell black pottery goblets. Wherever you look, the emergence of culture and civilization has always been heralded by mastery of art of pottery. But there's something different about the black pottery produced by the Longshan culture. Across the archaeological community, there's a general consensus that nothing from the same period rivals Longshan black pottery goblets in delicacy.
This black eggshell pottery goblet has a very thin wall. The rim is only 0.2 to 0.5 millimeters thin. I must be very careful. There are also pottery balls inside.
The pores are too small to see the pottery balls inside.
This is really a masterpiece of the ancients. It's tall. It's the most beautiful one among all the eggshell potteries.
What's more, the various shapes and sizes of the black eggshell pottery goblets indicate they were not mass-produced articles. It seems each one was individually handcrafted with painstaking skills. In fact, the level of craftsmanship is such that it remains unrivaled to this very day. It is hard to make pottery as thin as this, even using modern technology.
Where can we see the traces left by the potter's wheel?
From here we can see clearly the traces left by the potter's wheel, and also here.
So, how were they made? No one knows for sure. All we can say is that they were made on a potter's wheel, an extremely fast, accurate, and stable one. Until the kilns and workshops that produced them are discovered, we can only marvel and imagine how these delicate works were produced 4,000 years ago. It's possible to say more with certainty about the clay that was used. Fine silt deposited in ancient rivers and lakes. Once carefully rinsed and washed, it became a material of extraordinary malleability and durability. Part of the secret might also lie in the kilns used to fire them, the temperatures they could achieve, and the time these black eggshell pottery goblets spent inside them. Firing almost certainly explains the color. A technique known as sealed firing allows carbon molecules to penetrate the clay at high enough temperatures, thus coloring it before it's polished. But however it was achieved, the effect is stunning. a mysterious black metallic luster that even today, after 4,000 years, evokes feelings of reverence and awe. High-end products like these were certainly not for the mass market, so to speak. So, who were they for? And what purpose did they serve? The most likely explanation is that they were sacrificial vessels, the preserve of the elite ruling class, used to showcase and highlight power and status. As it spread down the Yellow River, the pottery produced by the Longshan culture became even more sophisticated. Underlying this improved technology and craftsmanship is an increasingly more sophisticated social order. But pottery had a fatal drawback. It was weak and brittle, but times were about to change. A new material was on its way, one that would herald the arrival of a new age, bronze.
What's it like to sip tea in a 108-year-old tea house? Well, the Guanyin Ge tea house in Chengdu has witnessed the city's evolution and remains the symbol of traditional tea culture. Now, we offer you an intimate glimpse into the daily life at the tea house while exploring themes like cultural preservation and community in a changing world. Now let's get ready for a sip of tradition.
A rough dirt floor, an old-style thermoses, and water in old-style kettles is still heated with charcoal. It's a commitment to tradition, capturing moments that echo with nostalgia. And this busy man in blue is Li Qiang, the owner of the tea house. He's been working here for over 2 decades. His dress code, I guess, dates back to the 1980s. Most endearing among the tourists, I notice the regulars. Retired men who frequent the place, sipping tea, chatting, and enjoying their get-togethers. The vibe suddenly becomes a time machine, brewing visitors away from the bustling present into a simpler, quieter, and more brooding past.
Because we mainly serve locals here. In fact, I think the relationship between the guests and me is like the relationship between the elders and the juniors, especially in the mornings. Many are retirees, ranging from 60 to 90 years old. But for me, I've been working here for over 20 years. In other words, when I was young, they were middle-aged. I saw them growing older, and they witnessed us becoming middle-aged.
The tea house is open every day, all year round. For tourists, it's 10 yuan per person and less than $1.5 US. For the old-timers, though, it's been only 1 yuan since 2003, because Li Qiang considers them family.
Sometimes, when I heard some seniors talking about an old man who just passed away, I made a cup of tea and put it on the table he used to sit and lit a cigarette for him. At that moment, other guests were prompt to not sit there. I waited until the cigarette went out. Then, when the visitors came in, I just took the particular cup of tea away.
Guanyin Ge has been standing here for 108 years, watching people coming and going. It was listed as a protected historical building in 2016. Professor Zhang Yu from Southwest Jiaotong University in Chengdu is in charge of protecting this legendary tea house.
For a long period of time in retrospect, like many other ancient towns, this old town inevitably fell into decline, during which there was only one tea house in the town still in business. This was the only one left at that time. After all those years, people have finally realized the value of this authentic lifestyle. I think first of all we use it. That is to say, a traditional structure can't be treated as a shrine for people to worship, or a specimen to be observed, because the premise for a specimen to be a specimen is that we prevent the object from developing and growing, and then turn it into something that can be inlaid somewhere. If we follow the same procedure, traditional buildings become something like specimens.
That's a striking metaphor. What impresses me most is that I feel its ample space for living and enjoy the variety within it. Life is being agreeably expressed in this tea house.
In fact, a tea house is the best place to depict the sense of harmony. All visitors are equal and there's no distinction between tea lovers. But if in those well-decorated tea houses with relatively modern facilities, you can hardly feel an inner peace. Customers also have a sense of distance from each other.
Li Qiang is the second generation to take care of the tea house. He's 59 now, which prompts a question: is there anyone to pick up his cattle one day?
I'm going to do it till I'm 70. My son needs 10 more years to get calmer and steadier and know what he's supposed to do, merely making money or doing something meaningful. My son is in his 30s. I'll work 10 more years and he'll enter his 40s. When he's old enough, he'll better understand that life is the most important of all.
That's called the depths of the human heart. I can't help but wonder whether when a person's discoveries and achievements become more and more oriented towards profit, life is actually losing its original warmth and color. Back in 1760 and the first industrial revolution, people began to think science and technology could solve all their problems. 3 centuries later, more and more people are realizing that great inventions can also cause anxiety and indifference.
Communication builds up connection and tradition. Only by respecting fine traditions and cultural diversity can humans see the future.
When it comes to human life, I think it can be more important to share our differences rather than insist on similarity. I hope more people from home and abroad come to this century-old tea house and become, even if just for a cup of tea time, part of this living work of contemporary art.
As we travel across China, we encounter many ancient Chinese temples, each with its own story to tell. In Funan County, Sichuan Province, Bao'en Temple has stood for 580 years. Featuring a massive rotating prayer wheel, intricate dogon brackets, and stunning artwork, the temple is a true architectural wonder. Visitors there can enjoy both a spiritual reflection and the natural beauty of its surroundings.
Sichuan people are known for being laid back, right? So what about these hog enthusiasts? Now in its 16th year, the hardy owners group of Chengdu has 800 members from all walks of life. Li Wei is one of them. He's been working in the architecture-related field for 25 years, and during his extensive travels, he's rediscovered many architectural wonders. Is this the next stop that you plan to show me?
Yes, this is Bao'en Temple in Pingwu County, with a history of hundreds of years.
How did you find this place?
Once on my way to Zhuozhaigou National Park, I found this place. Let's go and have a look.
Sounds good. This complex in the remote mountains is about 580 years old. It is a typical Chinese Buddhist temple. Major halls are constructed along a central axis and other structures along a transverse axis. Standing in the center of the complex, I can't help wondering how people could find a magnificent place like this before modern transportation. The view from its exterior has already taken my breath away. Zheng Yin is the curator of Bao'en. He's been working here for 3 decades, and the first treasure he shows me is the giant prayer wheel, a repository for sutras. Curator Ren, the prayer wheel is so big.
It weighs about 5,000 kilograms, and it's 11 meters tall, same size as this one. It is now the only one in the country that still works.
Can it still turn?
Yes.
Shall we?
Yes.
The ornate octagonal wooden structure has been turning for over half a millennium.
The overall architectural pattern is royal style. All wooden structures are made of nanmu, unique in the country. The architectural patterns, murals, and paintings are superb. They are very exquisite, all showcase the art and the culture of the time.
Nanmu is also known as Huangmu, literally timber for imperial construction. Look at the great variety of dogong, sets of brackets that support the roof of the halls. The curator says there are 36 different types and over 2,000 sets of dogong in the temple. No nails were used in the construction, yet the complex withstood the 2008 Wenchuan earthquake, one of the world's most devastating earthquakes of the 21st century. No wonder, Ren says.
Really reluctant to leave. I'm going to retire this year, but I will continue to study the dugong structures, the culture and the aesthetics of the Bao'en Temple. What's more, I will train more young people to protect ancient architecture, so I have a lot of affinity with this temple. Each day, I walk around it 3 or 4 times. Every year, on the eve of the Chinese New Year, I tell all the staff to go home for New Year's Eve, and I stay in the temple. Our ancestors left us such a prestigious cultural heritage, and I have to protect it well and pass it on to our children and grandchildren.
Ancient Chinese craftsmen took materials from nature and built houses. When humans established fixed settlements, they started to create their spiritual home, including this golden statue of Guanyin, the goddess of mercy, carved from a nanmu tree. And this revolving sutra cabinet, carrying the prayers of generations for a better life and the peace of the country. as well as these images painted with natural mineral pigments, make it possible for us to learn about the aesthetics of people centuries ago. Bao'an Temple is showing its age. It is a chance to test the skills and understanding of today's craftspersons.
Now, as for the temple's architectural painting, we've invited the Palace Museum Cultural Heritage Research Institute to make the plan and launch the restoration of the painting section. But we insist that we follow the principle of the protection of cultural relics and try our best not to interfere with the relics so as to maintain its original exquisite colors.
The name of the temple, Bao'an, means to repay the grace. I think I'm lucky to be this close to an architectural wonder. And I've always had a strange idea in my mind that a very old structure is like a sage whose essence is complete in himself with no words needed. As the sixth patriarch of Zen Buddhism, Huineng, put it, the Dharma is to be transmitted from mind to mind, and each must be awakened to it and clarify it to himself.
And with that, I'm wrapping up today's Meet China. Stay tuned for more intriguing stories next week from this incredible country, only on Meet China. I'm Lily. Thanks for being with us. Stay tuned.
Discover the potential. Witness the opportunities. Experience dazzling exhibitions and captivating events. Explore groundbreaking innovations and future-shaping industries. Stand at the crossroads where the cities of tomorrow meet timeless traditions. Meet China, where every story is a new discovery.
This presentation was paid for by CGTN. The opinions, views, and claims expressed are those of CGTN and may not necessarily reflect those of CNBC.